Welcome everyone to the Navigate information session. My name is Kathy Mazak. I am the creator of the Navigate program, the founder of Scholar's Voice, which is a professional development company focused on helping you write and publish in line with the level of expertise that you have. We want your academic work and your publications and your voice out there in the world, working for you to do what you want them to do for you in your career. And that is what the Navigate program is all about. So today I'm going to start by sharing my screen. This is the Navigate information session, as I mentioned. And yes, I am aware that I'm showing you a PDF and not a presentation. It just helps me manage my all the little things on my screen better. So, okay, so today what we're covering is who is Navigate for, how the program works, the process of applying, and then we'll have just like a big FAQ section. At the end, I have a list of the actual FAQs that we always get, the questions that people always ask, and then I'm happy to just hang out and answer everyone's questions as you're considering, or just, finding out more information about the Navigate program. So Navigate helps tenure track women and non-binary professors publish their backlog of papers so that their voice can have the impact that they know is possible. So this is really important to me. This idea of what I'm going to get to this in the kind of who qualifies for Navigate part. The biggest, most important thing here is that you have a backlog of papers. And it doesn't have to be like 10, although I know some of you have 10, but it could just be 1 or 2. The idea here is that Navigate is really created for people who have a lot to say. They just need to clear the way for the time and the focus they need to get those papers out in the world. So before we go any further, I just want to talk about kind of the qualifiers for Navigate, or like who the program is for. Navigate is an application-only program. The reason it's an application-only program is that we are curating the group. We are making sure as well that the people in the group have the problems that Navigate solves. So that's a really important part of what I hope you get out of the info session today. So we form cohorts. We do 3 every year. So upcoming one will start in May. It's like, we call it our summer cohort. We roughly run on the academic semester system, right? So like we have a summer, a fall, and a spring. Here's the kind of person that we're looking for. You are a professor at any career stage. So you could be pre-tenure, post-tenure. If you're someplace else in the world that doesn't use the tenure system, it doesn't matter what year of being a professor you are, but you have these qualifications. The first really important one is that you've published at least 1 article in a peer-reviewed academic journal. So that's everyone. And the reason that we make that a qualification for the program, and of course, this is all self-reported. Nobody's like digging around the internet looking for your publications. But what this is, the importance of this is that Navigate helps you find the time to write. It helps you understand your academic mission. It helps you project manage your writing, but it doesn't teach you how to write an article. It is not an article writing program in the sense of like Belcher's How to Write an Article in 12 Weeks program, that it breaks down the parts of an article and all of that. So we're looking for people whose problem is not that they don't know how to write an academic article, but rather that they have such a backlog of papers that they're just not getting to because too much teaching, too much service. They need help like in the transition between what their mission was when they were under an advisor and what their mission is now that they are assistant professors or starting their careers. You're in the transition between I I just got tenure and now I really can do what I want. What do I want to do with it? That kind of thing. Not somebody who is looking to learn how to write their first article. Okay, so that's important. And then these other things. So the first one is that you've published at least one article in a peer-reviewed academic journal, and one of these other things, which is that you have too much data for the amount of time that you have to write it up, or you're sitting on, and this is most of the people who come in, 3 or more article drafts in various stages of done, like from just an outline or figures to several sections written. Or you are looking for an accelerated way to clear your publication pipeline before taking on your next big project, like preparing your dossier for promotion, going on the job market, submitting. You've got a backlog that you need to get out. 1 second. Darling, could you stop talking to yourself? Okay, thank you. All right. So a couple of graduates of our Navigate program whose stories I wanted to share. This is Selena. As a new mom, Selena was trying to figure out how her goals and values could align with her dreams in academia. And Navigate helped her turn her dreams into reality. She says that through Navigate, I have found strength in community and the amazing coaches, got the book contract I dreamed of, and continue to have doors open that align with my academic mission. And also, please meet Fantasy. Fantasy was overburdened with off-mission responsibilities that were great opportunities, but that were holding her back from publishing. Navigate helped her strategically cut back on her workload. She says, I just really want to say thank you for the structure that you've been providing through the program, because I don't know that I would have made these changes without it. I have known for a long time that I've needed to make these types of changes. Navigate gave me a way to hold myself accountable to do it for myself. So Navigate is a 12-week writing and publishing program that combines recorded training with live group coaching. This is our framework for the curriculum of the program. There's 3 main areas of your writing and publishing that we work on in the program. The first is pipeline and project management. We start there with kind of like the highest level, biggest picture part of the writing and publishing process, and then we kind of dive deeper. So we begin with mapping your pipeline and talking about writing project management, though what we teach about project management, you can then go apply to any project that you have. Then we talk about your academic mission statement and aligning your time so that it's supporting your academic mission statement. And then the last third of the program is about actually establishing your writing practice and what that looks like, how to create what I call a relationship-based writing practice, which is a writing practice grounded in a positive relationship with your writing. All of this is encircled in a hug of up-leveled beliefs and mindset. And you'll see too that representing kind of this spiral curriculum, or a curriculum that you could that you continue to deepen your mastery of, are these yellow circles on the outside. Okay, so as I mentioned, we work 4 levels of publication development inside of Navigate. We start with this high level multiple project planning, where we map your pipeline, we talk about what a publication pipeline is, and we create what I call a writing roadmap for the year. Then we drill down 1 level and we talk about writing project management, like breaking projects into tasks. Drill down again, and we look at weekly time management, because you can have a project plan for your writing, but if you don't have time on your calendar to enact the plan, your publications won't come out, which is actually a problem for a lot of people. That connection between I have to have a plan to know what I'm working on, I have to have a plan for working on it, and I have to have time, protected time on my calendar to do it, that connection is the one that you're missing. So we talk about weekly time management, making space on the calendar, scheduling weekly, all of the things. In the process here, we cull away things that are not aligned with your academic mission. And then the final part of the program is writing practice design. We call it your soaring system. We talk about all the different tools that you can use to create a sustainable relationship-based writing practice. As you do those things, we are working on what we call the low-hanging fruit project. So we take you through the 12 weeks of the program. We are helping you project manage that almost done article so that by the end of the program, you are able to submit it. Now, this is, for everyone, this is a work in progress, but we have curriculum around helping you choose that low-hanging fruit project, and then you're applying all of these things that you're learning to the writing of that project. So it's very applied. And we are moving along together through that application for 12 weeks. So during Navigate, you will create a clearly articulated academic mission statement and a process for using it to guide your decision-making to rein in overwhelm and leverage your time. Sweetie pie, you're still talking to yourself, hon. You hear me? Okay, please, quiet. Or go in another room. Take it to your room. Number 2, a mapped out publication pipeline, which serves as a high-level project plan for your publication submissions over the next year. You'll create a process for breaking writing projects into tasks and completing those tasks in a powerfully predictable way. You'll create a mission-driven plan for time management that ensures time to think and write. And you'll create one or more, you'll submit one or more of your low-hanging fruit articles. Some people get excited and they really only need 1 or 2 hours on a project. They submit it and then they choose something else and work on it through the program. Some people, some people don't submit their low-hanging fruit by the end, but get very, very close. Like, I just need to write the letter that goes with it. And so regardless, you will significantly move a project forward. And we call this your Navigate portfolio. So when you've done all of those things, at the end of the program, you will have this: a pipeline map, academic mission statement, ideal week, soaring system plan, and the low-hanging fruit article submitted. So the result of Navigate is a sustainable writing and publication process that will help you publish your backlog of papers and get your voice out in the world. Yes, the challenge is real with the kiddo. Again, not healthy enough to go to school, not sick enough to just lay down. That's a problem. It's good. I'm glad she's not that sick. All right. The weekly program rhythms is a question we get a lot. Well, when are the meetings? How does it work? How much time does it take? So for the summer, the meeting day is Wednesdays. The meeting time is 12 noon Eastern, which I always like to put in parentheses here. Whatever time it is in New York City, that's 12 o'clock noon in New York City is when the meeting is. And we meet live over Zoom weekly on Wednesdays at noon. It's about a 50-minute meeting, 50 minutes to an hour. The first call is May 15th. The last call is July 31st. Now, during these 12 calls, we alternate between group coaching and co-writing. And during the co-writing calls, you can ask questions. You can pull me into a breakout room to get any questions answered, help you get over any obstacles you're finding with the curriculum, and with your implementation of the curriculum. So there is this like kind of, laser coaching possibility during the co-writing sessions, and then group coaching the rest of the days. So basically May 15th, we have our introduction orientation session. Then we have a group coaching call the next week as well. And then after that, we're alternating writing and group coaching. Doing that is holding at least 1 hour in your week for concentrating on your writing. So the reason that this has this weekly rhythm to it is that we want to show you and help you like create that practice of having 1 hour a week. Now, if you're like, 1 hour a week's not enough, that won't do it. If you're not currently doing 1 hour a week, 1 hour a week is a lot. It will move the needle significantly. The other part of the program, besides the weekly call, is a weekly training module that releases inside of Teachable, which is our learning management system. So basically, you get the training module, we have a call, training module, we have a call. You have a week to look at the module before we have the call that either covers it in coaching or is that's the module for the week. So what we want, the training modules take sometimes as little as 30, sometimes as much as 60 minutes to watch. Most of them are between 30 and 40 minutes to do the whole module. So what you are doing during Navigate and the time you need to have, which is a question we often get, is about 2 hours a week to dedicate to the program. And again, what you're doing is you're practicing holding 2 hours a week for writing. So when the program is over, you still can continue to hold that 2 hours a week for writing, which I will die on the hill of that is enough, especially if you are currently not doing that. 2 hours a week is actually going to significantly move the needle for you. You can build from there. This is just a little screenshot of what the curriculum looks like. It might be very small on your screen, but I'll just say that there's kind of a week 0 module or like a welcome module. There is the week 1, which is just our kickoff meeting and a tour, a pre-assessment tour of learning management system. And then we really get into the content. And you'll see here, each week we have a core module and a low-hanging fruit module. And the core module lesson is, again, between 20, you can see this one is 17 minutes, this one's 29 minutes, somewhere around there. And then the low-hanging fruit module is 5 or 6 minutes long. So that's the amount of content that you are watching. And so we are moving forward, not only our learning, but also that low-hanging fruit project. We are, touching it every single week. Yeah. I'm the coach. So in the past, I have had a team of coaches working for me, but as has happened, and I've been pretty transparent about this on the podcast, as has happened in many online businesses in 2022, 2023, we've had kind of a downturn as the economy has shifted and things. So I'm back to just me being the coach for now. And so I will be the one leading the group coaching calls and the co-writing calls. So if you ever wanted to work with me directly, now's your chance. Okay, some results for past members. I know this is very texty, but I'm just going to read it to you. So Christy McAllum from University of Montreal, she's an associate professor. She said, I cannot believe how much I've learned in the past 12 weeks. I thought I knew where my publications got stuck, but I realized there were 3 points in the process where my publication slowed down or stopped. And then she could figure out how to address those issues. Also, looking at the pipeline in light of my academic mission statement helped cull 2 papers away out of my pipeline completely. It was initially scary, but liberating, as what I am publishing is now far more aligned with what I want to do and the change I want to be and see in the world. Hi, Rachel. Yes, Rachel said, culling sounds scary. So yes, it does. Nobody's forcing you to cull things away, but we are working towards declaring your academic mission in the world and then pulling everything you do to support that mission. So one of the things I talk about a lot, right, is a curated pipeline. It means that your pipeline is really supporting and putting out the message of your academic mission. And as you do that, what you'll start to notice is that if it feels like everything you're doing is about this mission, that feeling of being pulled in 1,000 directions is somewhat lessened, right? The first step is to get that academic mission in place and then cull. Some of the things you'll also be culling in this program are things you said yes to that you regret, things that are just taking too much of your time but are unaligned with your mission. And we have a whole process for doing that so that it's not so scary, because just saying no is not good advice. I mean, it's fine advice, but it's unhelpful in the sense that, like, what about the things I can't say no to? What about the things I already said yes to that now I wish I said no? We have a whole process that we take you through. It's called aligning your activities, where we kind of work you through that. All right, results from past members continued. This is from Cindy Cordova Arroyo, who's an assistant professor at Cal State Polytechnic University. Notice that we have associate professors, assistant professors. We have people at different levels and moments of their career. In the program right now, we have a current dean and an ex-dean. So we are, that's part of the beautiful diversity of the cohorts that go through the program. And also breaking down that idea that, like, oh, I'm an associate professor, or I'm a dean, I should know all of these things about how to get my publications out. And we all know that that's not true. Nobody teaches us, so it's not that we should know. All right, the most important result I achieved during our program was gaining a clear understanding of my academic mission. This clarity has allowed me to critically evaluate my activities in terms of their alignment with my academic mission and their overall impact. Personally, this has provided me with a sense of direction and purpose, while professionally, it has streamlined my efforts towards more strategic and meaningful engagements. Another participant, and we always give people the option to share their names and affiliations or not. So this person didn't want her name shared, which is totally fine. She says, combining soaring time with the ideal week made me realize how much of my mental energy I'm giving to people, meetings, events that are part of my responsibilities as a member of my program, but aren't what will lead me to my professional goals. This is a very important realization. I've said no to several opportunities this semester that seemed amazing on paper, but just did not really fit with my academic mission and goals. I wouldn't have known that or done that without going through Navigate. So this is a way that Navigate helps you hone your decision-making and discernment to the betterment of your career and towards you achieving your professional goals. Navigate helped bring awareness to the writing process in ways that made it more tangible and concrete. During my PhD, I was stumbling to figure it out. Now I understand every step of the pipeline so I can better organize my schedule. This has made things explicit, which has greatly helped me have a better sense of what to expect moving forward. And the last quote I'll share is, I've read tons of stuff, tried many things, adopted several tools, but this is not just about becoming more efficient, but being more sustainable, more authentic, and actually learning strategies and systems to make things happen. I also really like the emphasis on the journey and change, the fact that change takes time, and I'm going to talk about that today. All right, so that's my overview of Navigate. I will just right now, while we're here, I'm going to pop the Navigate page in the chat. So if you would like to go and look at each module broken down and explained, it's on that page. And that's where you can also sign up for the wait list, which is the action that I'm asking you to take today. I'll talk more about that in a second. All right, Navigate application process. So we have a 3-step application process. First, you apply. It takes about 5 minutes. It's not hard. It's not, it's just figuring out if you are it helps us figure out if you're the right fit. So you apply, then you complete our benchmark assessment, which I'm going to go into some more detail about here in a minute, and you schedule a call with me. And then you have your pre-enrollment call. And if we both agree that you're a good fit for the program, I'll invite you to enroll right there on the call. So the application itself, again, it takes just like a few minutes. It's not like a big deal. You can do it on your phone. We will be opening applications on March 25th to the wait list, which is why you want to go get on the wait list. Let me just show you real quick how to get on the wait list. So if you go to that page that I just dropped in the chat, you'll see right here this pink button, and you just click join the wait list, and you put your name and your email and your phone number if you're willing in there.
Good, how are you?
The reason that we ask for, could you, everybody mute, please? Okay, I got it, sorry, got it. If everybody if you put your phone number in there, the reason we ask for that is that sometimes our emails go to junk, and we want to make sure that you know that you were accepted. So we'll send acceptances and next steps through text if you have a US or Canada number. After you apply, if you are accepted, then you move on to the next step, which is taking the benchmark assessment and scheduling your call. The benchmark assessment basically walks you through each of the outcomes of the Navigate program and asks you to self-assess about them. It takes about 5 to 7 minutes. It's not something to overthink. I am going to explain this concept of levels of mastery, which is an important concept in the program and also for the benchmark assessment. So basically you can see here the first outcome to self-assess on is I've written down all the steps in my pipeline from idea to publication. So what you'll do then is you'll choose like, okay, I was unaware that I needed to do that. So this is something new to me, unaware. Or I'm aware that this is something I need to do, but I'm not doing it. I'm learning how to do it, but I'm not doing it consistently. Integration means I do this and it's integrated into my practices. And mastery means I've made this my own. Yeah, I got this completely. So you'll rate yourself on this levels of mastery scale for each of our program outcomes. And that will be like, we'll do that when you come into the program. We'll do that when you go out. If you do additional rounds of the program, we'll continue to do that. And we have a call at the end of our program where we'll review this together and talk about what your next best steps are after the 12 weeks. After you are accepted and fill out the benchmark assessment, you can schedule your pre-enrollment call. During the pre-enrollment call, I guide you through a process. Like it's a very specific, easy, fun process to have a conversation so that we both know if Navigate is the right next step for you. And yes, there are people who come on the call and we talk and it's like, yeah, this isn't right for you right now. This is not or you're past this, or you don't need this yet, or, or it's just not a right fit for your goals. And so that's what we do during the pre-enrollment call. It takes about 30 minutes. If we both get excited and we're like, yes, this is right for you and you're ready, then we will enroll you in the program right on the call. So again, you want to get on the wait list at that link that's in the chat. It's the pink button here. And also on this same page, you can scroll through and look at all the actual module breakdown and everything. Okay, so that's our application program. This concept of Navigate rounds. So here's something that we've been doing Navigate as 12-week program for 4 rounds. So since February 2023. And one of the questions that I'm trying to answer for myself as a coach and as someone who creates professional development programs is, how long does it really take someone to master new writing and publishing practices? Right? Because sometimes, you take a program and you're kind of like, I want this 12 weeks, I should be done. It'd be great. Like I'm fixed, right? But after working with over 500 academics in our Navigate program, we actually estimate that it takes 12, maybe 18 months of intentional practice to master the writing and publishing skills, strategies, and mindsets that you start in Navigate. So when you go through our benchmark assessment, when you first come in or before joining the program, we expect that, of course, you're going to have a range of answers, but they'll probably mostly be aware, unaware, maybe a little bit of learning, right? Like you don't really know what you need to do yet, or you're aware of it, but not sure how to do it. You're kind of somewhere in here. After 12 weeks, we really expect everybody to be aware, learning, or integrating. Then you can go into the world and continue to work on the program outcomes. You keep access to the Navigate program recorded materials for a year, which is, back to this idea, how long does it take? You can keep access to all the recorded content for a year so that you can continue to work on this yourself, right? But we also offer, if you would like to join for an additional round, which about 50% of the people who take the first round join for the second round at a much reduced price. Then we hope after another round, well, you're starting to lean towards learning integration mastery, right? And then maybe at some point, but also like this is a process that is kind of career long, continuing to master these things. Maybe if you decide to take a third round, you are really working toward integration and mastery. But at any point in the rounds idea, you can hop off the Navigate official, program and work on it yourself. And sometimes I have those conversations with people at the end of their round one or round two. We always have like a personal call and talk about what's best. And a lot of times like, yeah, you're ready, just go do it, So, so here we have, again, I'm showing the Navigate framework, but with this idea of continued intentional practice. Now, when you take round one, you get all the modules and the Friday or the Wednesday calls. In the second round, the modules are the same. There's no new content, but the coaching is new. The coaching is up leveled. We continue to have those weekly calls. So, and again, like I said, most people who do round one do a round two, like 50%, not most, 50% of the people who do round one do another round. And we haven't had this system of rounds implemented long enough to get anyone to round 3 or 4. But this is something that we are monitoring and evaluating using the benchmark assessment. Okay, so you might have been intrigued to come to this meeting because we come to this info session because I teased in the emails that we're changing the price. So our pricing for this program has been $4,500 or 3 payments of $1,600 for the last 4 rounds. So since February 2023, we've done a close look at our past history with the Navigate program and different price points. And also, I don't know if you listened to the podcast, I have a podcast about my academic or my mission, which is to reach 1,000, to help 1,000 scholars change their careers by 2030. And so to make Navigate a little bit more accessible, we are testing $3,000 or 4 payments of $850 for our summer 2024 tuition. So that's a 33% price reduction. It's a test. We noticed that a lot more people than previously were using university funds to pay, but when the program in years past, which took a different format, but in years past when we'd sold it for $29.97, so like $3,000, we didn't have so many people relying on university funds, or the price was within kind of like a level that they could easily mobilize their funds themselves. So we don't want anyone to have the problem of like, I can't get my money in time for this round. So we're testing this. Like, let's see. And it's March. We're not opening applications until March 25th. Again, please get on the wait list. So you have from now until I think April 26th is the enrollment deadline to figure out your funding and to figure out if, how you're going to fund your tuition in the program. We encourage you to invest in yourself so that you can start the process of clearing your pipeline now and on your terms. We are definitely a professional development company that works directly with professors rather than with universities. So we're not like NCFDD who sells to your university and then your university, provides you with the access to their program. The reason that we aren't like that is because we are teaching you how to like do academia differently. And it's really hard to do that when you're answering to the institution instead of the client, right? So question in the chat that says, what's the new price for rounds of Navigate after the first one? So right now the price of Navigate rounds after the first one is $1,200. So basically you can do the program the first time for $3,000 and then each additional time for $1,200. And we also have a payment plan for that as well. So we're holding that price. We might change it, I don't know. But for this round, that's what we're doing. $3,000 for the first round, $1,200 for the second. And also I'll just mention, well, I'll talk in the FAQ section about like if you've done Navigate before, should you, like in some other format, what should you do? So again, please get on the wait list. And you can do that by going to this link. Awesome. Yes. So a couple questions in the chat. Would like to know if there are any purchase parity options. Let me know what you mean by that. Sandarya, please help me. Let me know what you mean by purchase parity. Maybe it has to do with exchange rate because of where you're located. Hi, Resmi. Yes, we can do team, but I have to know how many. And so definitely email us apart. So you can email us at, you'll see the email right here, right now. Okay, if you're using university funding, I'm just trying to like prevent some problems that we had in the last round of Navigate, which is that people had funds and they couldn't mobilize them in time. So they had like, we had people who had like a professional development grant or something like that, but they didn't, they couldn't get the university paperwork or like the wheels of the university to turn fast enough to have their payment land by the due date, which is what we have to have because we can't enroll you unless we have either the payment plan started or the payment. So we don't want that to happen to anyone, which is why we're having an info session in March when the due date is like the end of April. So here's just some tips about mobilizing funds. Kashta, I'm gonna get to questions at the end, so I'll finish and then circle back to you. Okay. So when to start mobilizing funds? Whoops, there's me and Paulette. Paulette's the person who works with the mobilizing the funds. She's the one who it does all of our finance stuff. So when to start mobilizing funds is right now. So yes, before you submit an application or anything, you need to know how you need to start the paperwork, start the gears turning towards university funding if you know you have funding and you are wanting to use it for Navigate. So I'm talking about people who have they have startup funds, they have maybe grant funding that has professional development as part of it. You have whatever, you have a pot of money that you're allowed to use. You need to start trying to use it now. Like you have to figure out the paperwork, figure out the point person now. If you are thinking of asking for funding, it might be too late, to be honest. So now, right now is when you need to start asking your dean or your department chair or whatever, because we're basically 8 weeks away from enrollment and it's not like universities are slow. We have much experience with their slowness. So don't wait. If some logistics things, if you want to pay with a P card and $3,000 is above the limit, also talking to Canadians, this is $3,000 US. So if, like considering all of those things, if you have some kind of limit that you're not allowed to make a charge on your P card or whatever, the university card, that's over a certain amount, then we can break up your payments so that you can like avoid that flag or avoid the transaction being declined. We do it all the time. Obviously, you need to have like whatever permissions you need to have to do it. And the email to contact us for that is support@scholarsvoice.org, and Paulette will get right back to you. That's for you too, Reshmi, like support@scholarsvoice.org. Again, we must receive payment by the enrollment deadline, which I'm going to tell you on the next slide for you to participate in the cohort. Program dates. So summer cohort, applications will open on March 25th, again, to the wait list. So we're opening to the wait list first. If we fill from the wait list, we won't open publicly, but if not, then we'll open the next, like about a week later, then we'll open kind of publicly. You'll hear me do a bunch of podcast episodes and stuff. But right now, what we really want you to do is get on the wait list. And just to say it one more time, here's how you get on the wait list. You go to this website. Hold on, I can't see it. There we go. You go here and you find this beautiful pink button and you put your name and email in. Getting on the wait list is not a commitment to enroll at all. It is just a commitment to get information. It just is like you raising your hand and saying, send me more information. And that way, on March 25th, when we open applications, you'll be the first one to get the email about that. You can apply, you get your first pick of the sales call times. And yeah. So then in fall, let's see, the program runs, so enrollment closes April 26th. The program runs May 15th to July 31st. First call is May 15th. That's the orientation call. Last call is July 31st. Calls are Wednesdays at noon Eastern. If you came to the info session, but you're thinking about fall, I just want to include these dates here. Well, you can still get on the wait list now. Applications will open July 29th. Enrollment will close August 23rd. The program runs Monday, August 26th through Friday, November 15th. Once we hit fall, we'll go to Friday call times. We're just, we only switch the call times to Wednesdays in the summer. The rest of the year, it's on Fridays. All right, then we're almost done here. So I'll get the questions in a second. So to get on the wait list, again, you go to that web page, click on the hot pink button, you fill in your name, your email, and then go check that you got a confirmation email. You should get something that says you're on the wait list. If you don't get a confirmation email, just again, email us at support@scholarsvoice.org. And if you have any questions between now and when we open enrollment or open applications, go ahead and send us an email. We're happy to respond. That's the waitlist button. Okay, real quick FAQs, and then I'll get to Qs. Okay, the first one is, why do applicants not get accepted into Navigate? Okay, so here's really the reasons. If in the application you indicate that you've never published anything before, then you're too early for Navigate. Go publish one thing and then come back. It's really for people who have a backlog of papers, not for people who are new to publishing. Another reason is that you didn't fill out the whole application because that indicates to us that you're not really actually that interested. Also, snarky applications we reject because we are curating the room and trying to bring together a group of people who are coachable and excited. So part of the wonderfulness of this program is the group. And so yeah, snarky applications get denied. Related is Navigate only for tenure track professors. We speak our marketing to tenure track professors, but we have enrolled people who are postdocs or full-time researchers. So apply. And as long as you kind of meet our criteria, we'll take you through the enrollment process, and then we'll both decide whether it's a good fit or not. So if you're not technically tenure track or equivalent in your country, just apply and you'll know. Will Navigate help me write my book? This is a question I get a lot. Navigate is not a book writing program. It is a time to write program. It is a let me get my career going in the direction I want it to go program. So if you're looking to make some time and space and get your writing practice popping, Navigate's a great program. The logistics of writing a book, which I think are different than writing articles, this will not teach you. The program for that is Jane Jones's Elevate program, which I took to write my book. I can vouch for that program wholeheartedly. So if you're looking for like, how do I write my book? Take Jane Jones's program. Her website is up in consulting. But if you're looking for something that's like, let me get my academic life in order here. Let me figure out my writing time. Let me figure out, then Navigate will help you. Do you cap the number of participants in the cohort? We're not capping. We have not gotten more than 15. I don't know what will happen with the reduced price. If we get a flood of people and it feels like the cohort's going to be huge, we might add an additional call time. I don't know. But I'm taking the attitude of like, solve the problem when you have it, not solve the problem in advance. So we are not capping. Historically, this program has run with between 12 and 15 members in the cohort. What are the meeting times? Wednesdays at noon Eastern. Can I keep the recorded modules forever? No, you can keep them for a year. A year from the last time you enrolled. So if you enroll in round 2, then you get a year from when you first enrolled in round 2, like that kind of thing. What if I need to miss some calls? We encourage you to try to come to all the calls. You'll notice that I didn't mention anything about this program having a Facebook group or a Slack channel or any other way to communicate besides on the calls. That's because it doesn't. Because the place that community is nourished and created is on the calls. That said, I mean, we're all super busy. People can miss 2, 3 calls and really not feel too much impact on the result of the program. Again, like if I was going to miss a call, I would try to make it a co-writing call instead of a coaching call. But really, like, if you have to miss a call, you have to miss a call. What if I took a previous version of Navigate? So Navigate has been in the world since 2017. It's been a course. It's been a year-long program. It's been many things. So if you have taken a previous version of Navigate before February 2023, you should take round 1. The curriculum's different. It's a different program than it was before that. If you're on this call and you've taken Navigate round 1 in February 2023 or May 2023, then you would come in and do a round 2. So again, the round 2 price is $1,200. The round one price is $3,000. What if my university funds don't process in time? Then you can't join. That's the answer. What if I want to join in August or another future cohort? That's awesome. Get on the wait list and you'll be sure to get emails about that. And we're going to be doing another info session, the same info session in June sometime for August. So, so what we want you to do today is get on the wait list. You'll notice we're not opening applications today. We're opening applications May 25th or 26th. And starting our application process then. We just wanted to have a really nice early info session so that everybody could like understand what the program is, get their questions answered, think about it, get their coins together, and be ready for the enrollment process. Okay, question. Kashsa, you can my pronunciation, let me know.
Fine, it's Kaisa from
Kaisa. Nice to meet you.
Yes, good to meet you. I'm such a fan girl, so I've been excited the whole hour to see you in person. I've followed you for a couple of years and just really want to thank you for the work that you're putting out there. It's really helped with tough times, and just 2 months ago, I have a full-time position now, so in a better place to actually focus on writing. So I'm excited.
And congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, I've been doing your academic mission statement and blueprint, and of course the podcast. It's really been a huge help, especially when things have been tough. Then I feel like, okay, somebody's getting what the problem actually is. So I would be super excited to join, but the time of day is really not good for Europe. Is there plans to do a more Europe-friendly time? Like this time is good, but midday is hard because then it's 6 o'clock in Sweden.
Right.
Central
Yes,
Europe.
it is. The thing about the time is that we are trying to hit Pacific, all the way from Pacific coast of the US, which is 3 hours earlier than where I am, and UK, Europe, however we can go. I don't even know what time it is in India. Much later, I'm sure. We have had in the other programs, we've had people join from Australia, Singapore, who have like woke up in the middle of the night, and I'm like, no, I feel so bad. But so the answer is, today we do not have that plan. But as I kind of mentioned, right, like if this, we're trying to figure out, like, just to be like completely transparent and honest, we're trying to figure out the sweet spot between like, Kathy can make this, this can be my full-time job, which it has been since 2019. Like I can pay me and I can pay Paulette, and it's, you know, we're making it work, you know, with the tuition that we bring in from Navigate, because now I've cut all the other programs because I really want to focus on creating this thing, which to me is what everybody should do, and is like, I want to make it like the best that it can possibly be. So it's this idea of like essentialism, right? Like I'm focusing on this. So a balance between pay me and Paulette and make this a nice business that, you know, sustains itself. But I don't, like, what I started noticing at the higher price point is that we were just like, we had gotten just out of reach of people paying for it themselves. And so we looked historically and we were like, and I don't want to say that $3,000 is cheap. It's not. This is also an amazing program. So like, I feel like it's totally like the value is there. And I just want to figure out like, what's the price point where we're going to fill the cohorts. So if we get, in my mind, if we get more than 20, then we would do another call time. And then we could decide, like we could kind of do an earlier, like a 10 a.m. because the round 2 group is at 11. We could do a 10 a.m., which at least would pull it like more in the workday for you. So that's the thing. Yeah.
Yes, I think you might be missing a market, because I think, as you're saying,
Yeah,
it's a high price point. So I'm kind of not willing to go in when the time is, you know, gonna be in the middle of dinner for several weeks. So it's good. Then I can fill out the form now and hope that people come in, because I think that's an important critical issue for me.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you saying that. And all the feedback that I get from all of you today, I'm really listening to. And like I said before too, right? Like we went through a business transition in 2023 that was horrible. It was so freaking painful. But I also know now that I was not the only person who had an online education business who saw like enrollment kind of tank. Like what happened to us is enrollment started to half. So when I had a team of coaches, I could put we could do more call times, we could do a lot of things, but I can't do different call times so I can grab Europe and like poor Australians and people in New Zealand and Singapore and Japan, like they are left out entirely. Like this happens in the middle of the night for them. Until I get the numbers up, I can't start to mess with additional times. But in my dream about what will happen, what I hope will happen is that we will have such demand that then we can open more sections and we can get a variety of times, and I can hire coaches again, which is really it was fun to work, you know, with other people. So yeah, that's the transparent part there. Jen says, thanks for the transparency. I appreciate the rationale for how you're structuring things. Yes. Yeah, and I'm trying to do podcast episodes where I'm working some of these things out, you know, as well. Other questions, if you want to unmute, thank you so much. Or if you want to drop questions in the chat, I am just here. What I want you to do is get on the wait list. Again, the wait list is not a commitment. The wait list is raising your hand to say you want more information. So Ekanem says, thanks for the call. You mentioned this for previously published writers. What would you recommend for first-time writers? Yeah, so if you haven't published you haven't published in a peer-reviewed journal yet, I recommend actually that you read, I forget her first name, Amy Belcher is her last name.
Wendy Belcher.
Thank you, Wendy. Wendy Belcher. She's a professor at Princeton, I think, and she has written 12, how to write your article in 12 weeks. Like, if you want the $50 like entry point into writing articles, that is what I would do. I think it's like a $30 to $50. She often she's so great. She would like come in and just give coupons because she was like, people think $50 is too much for a book. Here, have a coupon. She's so great. And that is a really helpful book. It's like really 12 weeks and you kind of do it step by step. The reason for you need to publish something before you do Navigate is really about what Navigate's about. I don't want anybody to get the illusion that Navigate is going to teach you how to write an article. This is one of the reasons that Navigate is, I call it field agnostic. And we get people from all kinds of fields. We get hard science, we get social science, we get history, we get all kinds of humanities and all kinds of things. Because business, everything, because what we're teaching you is a process for organizing yourself and not a process for how do I write a great results section in my field, because that is something you need to come into the program with, or at least like not great, but you've done it before, right? So yeah. Okay. So yeah, I would start with Wendy Belcher's book. Joelle says, I want to establish an enduring writing process, but I am in a book field. Ooh, and I want to work on a book I'm writing. I have multiple partially written chapters as low-hanging fruit instead of articles. Would that work? So Joelle, we have worked with people have used Navigate to do that. The important thing is to think is that the problem that Navigate solves is time to write, organizing your writing, project managing your writing, getting the best writing time for you, understanding who you really want to be as an academic, and starting to push, cull out the things that are not in line with your academic mission. And so if that's what you want to do, and you're going to work on your book projects while you come into Navigate for that, then great. If you're looking for, again, like, how do I write a book? Because a book has certain structure and it has a certain, it's really like a multiple project, right? We don't teach that in Navigate. So if you're looking for like time, clarity, the people do come in and use it, who are book writers, and use it to work on chapters and that kind of thing. I just never want to pretend that it's going to teach you how to write your book. Yeah, that's, like, to me, the person who does that the best is Jane Jones. She's Jane Joanne Jones, PhD, on Instagram, and you can just Google Up in Consulting and you'll see her Elevate program there. Yes. Okay. Yolanda says, is this program also thought of about for people who are not native English speakers, but need to write in English? I've published before, but still quite insecure about writing. Would the program also work for people like me? So yes, we have people who English is their second language or third or fourth language in our program. Again, we're not teaching, it's not editing, it's not rhetorically how to write an article. So if what you're looking for is the project management side of writing, then that is really what Navigate is about. Project management, time management. So if that's what you're looking for, Yolanda, then yes, it would work. And it doesn't matter, actually, it does not matter what language you publish in for Navigate. So if you publish an academic article in your own, in whatever your other language is, that counts for me in terms of having published something. What I just want to make sure is that we're not getting complete newbie writers. We're getting, which is also why we market to professors, because it's really a program that's about how to navigate the professorial life from a feminist perspective. at the end of the day. Other questions? I'm very happy that you all came, and it's been an hour, so it's probably done. So we're probably done. Get on the wait list. You will be able to get, we're going to be sending this recording out. So if you came halfway through or in the last few minutes, it's totally fine. Recording is going out as soon, like tomorrow morning. So you can watch then. We're also going to be replaying on the podcast. And yeah, just get on the wait list so that we can give you all the information. You can see right here. You just go to scholarsvoice.org/navigate, and you can get on the wait list right at that pink button right there. So thank you all so, so much for your time. Happy that you came, and I will hopefully talk to you in the Navigate application process. Have a great day.